car split in two.
3 people in that car. When it hit the wall at damn near 100 miles an hour, 2 of them weren't wearing seat belts. One was, guess which one? The driver. The only one strapped in was the one with her foot on the gas. Now sit with that for a second, because that one little detail, who was buckled and who wasn't, that's the whole case right there. To some people, it says she planned to survive. To other people, it says absolutely nothing. So before this is over, you're going to have to decide what it says to you. But hey, let me back all the way up, because you can't understand that seatbelt till you understand her. Strongsville, Ohio. Quiet suburb, nice houses. The kind of place where nothing's supposed to happen. That's where Mackenzie Shirilla grew up. And from the time she was a young girl, she wanted one thing more than anything else. She wanted to be seen. Her whole life lived on her phone. Every outfit, every friend, every little moment, posted and polished for the world. She wanted to be a model. She wanted to be an influencer. She wanted to be the girl everybody's looking at when she walks in the room. And by her senior year of high school, from the outside looking in, it seemed like she had it. The look, the followers, the squad of girls following her down the hallway, and a boyfriend everybody wanted a piece of. That boyfriend was Dominic Russo. Now let me tell you about Dom. Dom was 3 years older than her, came from a big, tight-knit Italian family. Dom had 6 brothers and sisters, and a mama named Christine, who lived right next door to him. And I mean the family was close. This wasn't some boy just floating through life. Dom had his own place, his own recording studio in the house, a little clothing line. He was dabbling in stocks, in crypto, always reading, always building something. His older brother Angelo called him the most selfless person he ever knew, and his best friend. And it wasn't just family talking him up. Folks who met Dominic just one time remembered him. He had that thing, that pull. Him and Mackenzie had been together since she was a freshman. By the summer of 2022, they'd been rocking for years. Long enough that she done moved into his house, still only 17 years old, with talk of marriage floating in the air. To everybody watching, they were the golden couple. Matching outfits, vacations, cute pictures all over the timeline. Now, the third name in this story, this is the one that hurts. Because out of all 3, he's the one the world barely knew. And that's a shame, because he might have been the best of them. Davion Flanagan, 19 years old. Davion and his 2 little sisters spent years in foster care before a family came along and adopted all 3 of them together. Kept the siblings as one. His mama would say later that Davion gave the world the one thing he wanted most for himself. Love. He was that friend, the one who'd come to get you in the middle of the night, no questions asked. Star athlete till he tore up his knee, and when that dream closed, he found a new one. Barber school, then his own shop one day. He went out his way for the people everybody else walked right past. The forgotten ones, the hurting ones. By every single account you'll ever read on this boy, he was good, straight up. And on the last night of his life, all Davion was trying to do was catch a ride home. So here's where the pretty pictures start to crack. Behind them matching outfits, behind all them cute posts, Mackenzie and Dominic were falling apart, and it wasn't quiet. Dom's mother watched it happen over about 6 months. The fighting, the breakups, the getting back together, then doing the whole thing all over again the next week. Friends called it exhausting. One minute she loved Dom loud enough for the whole world to hear it. Next minute she was threatening to end it all. And the threats got specific. Dom's own brother said he got called more than once to come pull Mackenzie out the house because she wouldn't leave. Wouldn't go. So Dom started doing something. He started recording her. And on one of them recordings you can hear her outside his door. voice climbing, counting him down, telling him open up or there's going to be a problem, threatening to key his car, threatening to break in. Now that don't sound like two kids just spatting. That sounds like a warning.
Dom, if you do not open, you think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. Like, I'm dead ass.
What do you mean?
You know it. That's exactly what I mean. You don't even know exactly what I mean. You're going to come open this door right now, or there's going to be a serious problem.
The obsession was escalating, and everyone around them could see it. What they didn't see coming was how far she'd go to make sure Dominic could never leave her.
I'm going to count to 10. The door's going to open, okay? You're going to open the door and stop hiding behind the door like a little bitch. Okay, I'm going to bring...
Then came the highway. About 2 weeks before the crash, Dominic called his mother from inside Mackenzie's car, and he was scared. Told her Mackenzie was driving crazy, so Christine sent a family friend to go get her son off the side of the road. And that friend? He told police that as the cars were pulling over, he heard Mackenzie say something, word for word. "I'm going to wreck this car right now." 2 weeks later, why, she did. Now hold that. Hold that right there. Because the state is going to point at that sentence and say, see, she told y'all. She said exactly what she was going to do. And can't nobody act surprised. And the family? The family's going to tell you that whole moment got twisted, that it wasn't even her fault, that there's more to the story than them 5 words. Same sentence, 2 completely different meanings. And that right there is this whole case in a nutshell. You're going to be doing that a lot before we done. So what really happened in that car? Anyways, let me take you to that night. It's July 30th, 2022. Summertime. School just let out. Graduation parties everywhere. And Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion, they out. First stop, a little party at a friend's house. They roll up around 10:30 at night. Bottle of tequila, a weed pen. Low key, folks around a fire, getting high, kicking it. But here's a little something that comes back later. While they there, Mackenzie pulls the friend to the side and asks her, real quiet, would it be cool if they did some mushrooms? Friend said no, and that was that. But them mushrooms, they left with them. From there, the 3 of them moved to a second spot, another friend's house, around 11. More music, more weed, everybody chilling. And at some point in the early morning, when at 3-4 o'clock, one friend looks over and sees Dom gently stroking Mackenzie's hair while she drifting off to sleep on the couch. Sweet, right? Peaceful. Around that same time, Dom picks up his phone, texts his daddy. Love you, Dad. Texts his mama. Texts his brother, his friends. Tries to FaceTime somebody. Just, love you, love you, love you. Now, nobody thought nothing of it that night. But you look back later and it sit different. It sit real different. Sun's about to come up. Around 5:30 in the morning, the group starts to break up. Time to go home. And here's the thing. Somebody else offered Davion a ride. Somebody else. He could have went with them. But at the last second, Davion changed his mind and decided to ride with Mackenzie and Dom. Let that one sit for a minute. He almost went the other way. So they load up. Dominic reclines the front passenger seat all the way back, laid out, resting. Davion climbs in the back. Mackenzie gets behind the wheel of her 2018 Toyota Camry, and they pull off into the dark. 5:34 in the morning. A camera on Pearl Road catches the Camry making a right turn onto a street called Progress Drive. And I need you to picture how she takes this turn. Slow, controlled, blinker on, brakes tapping, careful as can be, like somebody who got precious cargo in the car. Nothing about it, nothing, looks wrong. Now here's the first thing that don't add up. Progress Drive ain't the way home. It's not a shortcut. It's not on the way to nowhere she needed to be. It's an industrial cut-through, warehouses, a dead end, a big brick building sitting right where the road runs out. Ain't no reason to be on that road at 5 in the morning. No reason at all, but there she is. For a few seconds the car moves normal, and then it don't. The gas pedal goes down, and it stays down. Past the warehouses, past every single point where a normal driver would let off, would slow up, would turn. The car just keeps building speed. Faster, faster. The whole time, that brick wall sitting at the end of the road getting closer, and the car never slows down. At 5:39 in the morning, that Camry hit the corner of that building at close to 100 miles an hour. I'm not going to be graphic with you, but I need you to understand what a 100-mile-an-hour impact does. The front of that car was destroyed so bad it looked like it had been cut clean in half. Dominic reclined in that passenger seat. Gone. Davion in the back, thrown forward so hard he ended up on top of Dominic in the front. Both of them, in the space of 1 second, gone. And Mackenzie, driven up under the collapsed dashboard, folded up under there, her foot still pressing that gas pedal down to the floor. And then the car just sat there, in the dark, engine still running, for 45 minutes. 2 young men dead inside a folded-up car on a dead-end road, and not one soul came. Nobody heard it. Nobody drove past. It wasn't until after 6 in the morning that somebody on a motorcycle finally rolled by, saw the wreck, and called it in. Now, she picked that road. Remember that. We coming back to it. When the police got there, they rushed to that car not even knowing if anybody was alive inside. And you can hear it in their voices on the body cam. One officer looking in that window, trying to make sense of what he's seeing. A car that looked cut in two, bodies not moving. He's calling for more units. He's calling for the fire department. And then he realizes Dean, the driver is breathing. They cut her seat belt to get her out. And that right there, family, is the detail we opened with. 2 boys in that car, and neither one of them had a seatbelt on. But the driver, she was strapped in. That's the fact. What it means, that's the fight. The state gon' say she buckled up because she planned to walk away from something the boys wasn't planning on. The family gon' say a seatbelt don't prove a single thing. That plenty people wear they seatbelt, and it don't mean nothing. Same fact, both sides. And you already know what I'm about to say, Umo. You decide. They airlifted Mackenzie to the hospital, and I mean she was wrecked. Broken leg, broken ribs, broken arm, damage to her organs, damage to the arteries in her neck from how hard her head snapped forward. It's a straight-up miracle she survived. Anybody would tell you that. But here's the piece that get people. When they searched that wreck, along with the marijuana in her purse, they found a scale, and they found mushrooms tucked in her clothes. Now hold on to all of that, because every bit of it matters in a minute. At first, everybody thought accident. Makes sense, right? Teenagers, party all night, 5 in the morning, somebody driving too fast, lost control. Tragic, but an accident. The medical examiner even wrote it up that way at first. 2 deaths, ruled accidental. Case looked like it was going to be sad and simple. Then the police started actually looking, and simple went out the window. First thing, the blood work. Everybody assumed she was drunk. She wasn't. No alcohol at all. Only thing in her system was THC, marijuana. Now, that should have pointed one direction. But then investigators pulled the surveillance footage, and what they saw stopped them cold. Because you had 2 clips. The first clip, that slow, careful, blinker-on turn. And then a second camera about 50 seconds later catches the same car. Except now it's a white blur. A missile. No brake lights. No slowing down. Just gone into that building. So now they asking, how you go from careful to 100 miles an hour in 50 seconds and never touch the brake? That ain't reckless. Reckless is sloppy. This looked like something else, so they brought in experts, pulled the black box out that Camry, the little event recorder, tells you what the car was doing in its final seconds, and what it said was chilling. For the last several seconds before that wall, the gas pedal was pressed all the way down, 100%, and the brake never touched, not once, not a tap. They checked the car itself. Was it broke? Did the gas pedal stick? Did the brakes fail? No, and no. That Camry was working fine. Nothing malfunctioned. The car did exactly what somebody told it to do. Then they went in her phone. And this is the one. This is the piece that flipped the whole thing. Her phone said she had been on that same road, that same dead end, that same industrial cut-through, 3 days before the crash. July 28th. Now, what business does a 17-year-old girl have on a random dead-end road that ain't near her house, that ain't on the way to nowhere, 3 whole days before she crashes and dies on that exact spot? To the police, it looked like one thing, a dry run, like she went and scouted it, went and looked at the wall, make it make sense. And while all this is going on, while 2 families burying their sons, Mackenzie is on social media, in the hospital, banged all up. A modeling agency slides in her comments talking about they'd love to work with her, and she's thanking them, telling them what a great opportunity it is. 2 people dead, she the driver, and she over the moon. A modeling page reached out. Then she out a concert in a wheelchair, cute little outfit on her phone. Then Halloween, 3 months after the crash, she posts pictures dressed up like a corpse. Now, the family got answers for every bit of that. They'll tell you she was grieving harder than anybody could imagine, that she laid in bed for months in Dom's clothes, only ate his snacks, only played his music, built a little shrine next to her bed, that the friends dragged her out that Halloween because she'd been crying for 3 straight months and they just wanted her to feel something. And that the modeling comment? Her mama typed that, not her, because the police still had her phone. So you got the police looking at that behavior and seeing a girl with no remorse who done already moved on. And you got a family looking at that same behavior and seeing a devastated child just trying to survive losing her whole world. Same girl, same 3 months. 2 completely different people depending on who's telling it. But hey, the police had made up their mind. In their eyes, this wasn't no accident no more. The road she picked, the seatbelt, the black box, the dry run 3 days early, the threat 2 weeks before, I'm going to wreck this car right now. Put it all together, and the medical examiner did something you don't see every day. He went back and changed it. Both deaths, from accident to homicide. And on November 4th, 3 months and change after that crash, they came and got her, pulled her over on the way home from physical therapy, told her she was under arrest for aggravated murder, ×2. And I want you to sit with what she said in that moment, 'cause we gonna get into all of it. The arrest, the trial, the verdict that split a whole town in half, and the fight her family is still fighting to this very day. That's next.
Again.
Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. You got it.
You want my cuffs?
No.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here. I'm not gonna tighten these, okay? I don't want to hurt you.
I can't wear any of it.
No, I need you to take it off while you're in jail right now.
can't wear these?
Now, unfortunately, everything's gonna have to come off right now once we know when the detective comes back and we know for sure what's going on. Everything's gonna be bagged up here. It's not going anywhere.
Sorry, this is just like one of those which is really hard to get off.
That's fine. Take your time.
So they got her, handcuffs going on, and you know what she worried about in that moment? Not the two boys, not the double murder charge, her bracelet. She asked the officer to be careful not to break her bracelet. Now, the state gon' say that tells you everything about who she is. The family gon' say she was a scared kid in shock, hanging on to the last gift her dead boyfriend gave her. Same moment, both sides. You know the drill by now. Then came a choice that folks still argue about today. Mackenzie gave up her right to a jury. 12 people off the street, she waved them off. Instead, she put her whole life in the hands of one person, one judge. And let me tell you something, that's rare. Almost nobody does that on a murder charge, because all you need is one juror out of 12 to hang the whole thing. Her own daddy says the lawyer talked her into it, and he'll go to his grave calling it a mistake. The trial itself was quick, 4 days, and the state laid it all out, the black box, the scouted road, the threats, the seat belt, the hell on wheels theory. The defense, they said she blacked out, said she had a medical condition called POTS that can make you faint, said this was a tragedy, not a murder. But here's the thing the family screams about to this day. The lawyer never brought in a doctor to prove that condition, never put her medical records in, never argued the drugs, never put her on the stand to tell her own story. He just didn't. And you can't unsee that once you know it. The judge heard all of it, and when she gave her verdict, she called what Mackenzie did literal hell on wheels, said it wasn't reckless driving, said, and I quote, "This was not reckless driving. This was murder, guilty, all counts, 15 years to life. She won't even be eligible for parole till 2037. Now here's where it get complicated, because it didn't end in that courtroom. Her family never stopped. They appealed, got denied, took it to the Ohio Supreme Court, denied again, then filed one more petition, the real one, the one with the doctor and the records the first lawyer never used, arguing she had bad counsel and deserves a new trial. And you won't believe how that one died. It got tossed for being filed 1 day late. 1 day. In a leap year. Make it make sense. Then a Netflix documentary dropped, put this whole thing back in front of the world, and the world had thoughts. 'Cause the jail calls came out, Mackenzie and her mama laughing about the case going viral, hoping Kim Kardashian might call. Her mama typing modeling comments while the boys wasn't even buried yet. Her daddy on camera saying he ain't have no problem with the weed. That daddy ended up suspended from his teaching job behind it. But hear me, through every bit of it, the family swears she's innocent. Says there's 5 seconds of car data, and that's the only real evidence. Says nobody can tell you what happened inside that car in them 50 seconds. 'Cause the one person who knows says she can't remember. And maybe that's the truth. Or maybe not remembering was the smartest thing she ever did. I'm not going to tell you which. 'Cause at the end of all this, 2 young men are still gone. Dominic Russo, 20 years old. Davion Flanagan, 19. The boy who almost caught a different ride home. 2 families that don't get no appeals, no parole, no do-over. Just an empty seat at the table forever. And it all comes back to that one little detail we started with. 2 boys with no seat belts, 1 driver strapped in tight, foot on the gas. To some people, that's a plan. To some people, that's nothing at all. So, what does it say to you? I told you at the top that part was your job. I just showed you everything. I said what I said. That's the story, family. If you rode with me all the way to the end of this one, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Drop your verdict in the comments, guilty or not, and let's talk about it down there. And if you're not subscribed yet, what you doing? Tap that subscribe and turn on the bell. I post a new case every week, because there's a whole lot more forgotten cases and unanswered questions where this came from. This has been Beyond Dark Cases. Stay safe out there and keep asking questions. I'll see you in the next one.